Hello guys, my name is Olayinka Ogundipe. I'm a regulated Canadian immigration consultant, and what that means is that I'm a licensed consultant who is regulated and supervised by ICCRC, which is the government mandated body, the Canadian government mandated body to license and supervise all Canadian immigration consultants. So if you've been dealing with a consultant without the RCIC designation, then you're dealing with an unlicensed consultant, and be very careful. Okay, today's topic, Canadian immigration, which is the trending topic of the moment. If you're looking at this video, you are most likely interested in how to migrate into Canada permanently, or how to regularize your stay in Canada if you're already in Canada to become a Canadian permanent resident. There are various options for you to become a Canadian permanent resident. The sponsorship, the family sponsorship process, the humanitarian compassionate process, the refugee process, and the economic immigration process. Today we'll be talking about the economic immigration process. The Canadian economic immigration process has been streamlined into the express entry process. So the express entry process is where you meet certain eligibility requirements, and all applicants are put in a pool together and then ranked according to their skills, education, work experience, age, adaptability, or arranged employment in Canada. So those are the selection criteria. But before that process, there's what you must meet the 67 minimum points. I'm sure you're like, what does that mean? You must have read somewhere or heard about that. What does that mean? That is where that is the problem with the majority of most of the assessment you do online, because people just go online, go on the CIC website, and then they put their information in. But that is the CRS ranking. That's the CRS system, the comprehensive ranking score. That is different. You have to meet the 67 minimum eligibility points. That's for FSW. I'm just throwing out words like FSW, CRS. What does that mean? In time, you will get to understand that. But today we are going to be talking about the Federal Skilled Worker Express Entry Process, FSW. Federal Skilled Worker, FSW. The FSW is the part where majority of the economic migrants come into. So to qualify for the FSW, you have to be highly skilled, have a high education, qualification, work experience, and most likely young. But before we get to that part, we like to ask our clients and our prospects certain questions. And if you are interested in immigrating to Canada, I would like you to take a moment of your time to review the questions I'm going to ask you before you proceed into trying to migrate into Canada. The questions are as follows. Number one, why do you want to immigrate out of your country? Why? Have you thought about that? Don't just sit down, review that, and think about it. Why? Two, why did you pick Canada if you have picked Canada? And if you haven't picked Canada, why would you pick Canada? Number three, when did you decide you wanted to immigrate out of your country? Number four, have you and your family thought about the sacrifices it would take to immigrate to Canada? Have you? Take time to think about that, review that. Have you done that? Number five, well, you must know this. Relocation is a very costly endeavor. Have you thought well about the process, and how do you intend to fund your relocation? How do you intend to pay for it? Because not just your relocation, the Canadian government asks and demands for the immigration process that you have a certain amount of funds in your accounts, so at least to sustain you for 6 months till you get settled. Apart from that, there's the application fee, and also if you choose someone like us, or if you choose a regulated Canadian immigration consultant or lawyer to represent your interest in this immigration matter, it's not cheap. It's costly. We're charging dollars. We don't know what currency you are coming from. Your country has, but it's not a cheap process. Number six, You be leaving a big part of your life, your family, support, friends, colleagues, and networks behind. How do you intend to build that once you arrive in Canada? How do you intend to survive? How do you intend to do that once you get to Canada? You have to think about that. Number 7, do you already have friends or a network in Canada that are not family, directly members of your family? Direct members of your family, parents or siblings that will serve as your guide and support upon arriving in Canada? Do you already have that? And if you don't, how do you intend to go about getting that? And number 8, which is the most important, what will you do once you get to Canada to earn a living? How would you survive? How would you make money to pay your bills, your rents, and everything? If you have thought about that and you still want to proceed, well, this next step as concerns 67 minimum eligible points. Out of 100 points, you need to get 67 points. That is the key factor. So if you most times people just go and do it themselves, but if you come to us, regulated Canadian immigration consultants, we do an in-depth legal immigration and assessment of your situation to see if not only if you qualify for the 67 eligible points, but also if you meet the minimum admissibility requirements. For anybody trying to come into Canada, there are minimum admissibility requirements. The Canadian government is not interested in bringing immigrants into the country that are going to become public charge, who can't take care of themselves. So even if it's a visitor, study, work permit, you have to meet the admissibility requirements. You have to meet the admissibility requirements, and that's what we do. You can't do it yourself. We have the training, the knowledge, and the certification to know. We know what the immigration officers are looking for and are going to be looking at. So we look at that even before the 67 points eligibility requirements. We look at that. If you don't meet that, we tell you don't waste your time, or do this, do certain things to overcome that. So now let's get to the 67 points eligibility requirements. There are 6 selection factors. 1, education. 2, language. 3, age. 4, work experience. 5, arranged employment. And 6, adaptability into Canada. So for the language, there are 28 points out of 100. So the maximum you can get is 28 points. You have to do certain language tests because it doesn't. Canadian government to adaptability, it doesn't make sense if you can't speak any of the languages that are spoken in Canada, or you can't communicate in any of the languages that are spoken in Canada. Because the main reason why they want you here is because of your skill and to join the labor force immediately and to start being a productive member of society. So if you can't communicate in the languages, it doesn't make sense for you to be here. So the more versed you are with either English or French, which are the two languages spoken in Canada, two official languages spoken in Canada, then it doesn't make sense for you to be here. But the more you can do it, then the quicker you are able to assimilate, adapt, and fit into the Canadian society. The next one, education. You have a maximum of 25 points there. If you have a PhD, that's 25 points for you. If you have a master's, 23 points for you. And if you have just a bachelor's, I think it's 21 points for you. But if you're in between, you have 2 certificates, you're a professional degree holder, a lawyer, a doctor, a pharmacist, an accountant, you have other certifications. That's where the complexity comes in. And also even for bachelor's and masters, because you have to have an evaluation done. Some schools, once the evaluation is done, do not meet up to the Canadian standard. So they might take a year or 2 or a couple points out of it. So that's why it's good to always talk to a professional before you go ahead and do it yourself, because we can tell you, okay, we can guide you through that process and try to make you have the best points you can legally, because we don't have access to what they have, and we can't talk to any of your immigration officer on your behalf to help you boost anything. But we know what they are looking for, so we can advise you professionally on that. That's for the education. Arrange employment in Canada. If you have an arranged employment in Canada, an LMI supported job offer, you get a maximum of 10 points. Work experience, a maximum of 15 points. If you have 6 years with work experience, verifiable, and not just verifiable, but because you can have work experience in different things, but work experience in the skills that are required are in demand in Canada, and you get 15 points. Age, Canada is not looking for older people. I mean, yeah, if you're older and you're very skilled, you might qualify, but they are looking for younger folks that can assimilate quicker into their economy, to their system, and then be productive members. So the younger you are, 18, I think 18 to 20, 18 to 35, you get the maximum points. And each year older, each year older, you get less points. Adaptability, you get 10 maximum points, and adaptability is different for different folks. For single people, it's a different criteria. For married, it's a different criteria. If you're married now, they take into consideration your wife's language proficiency. If you have ever studied in Canada, if you have ever worked in Canada, if you have siblings or relatives in Canada, and they have to be blood relatives. You cannot just look for an uncle somewhere. And you have people are very funny. They think, oh, I have a friend in Canada, let him support me. Do not get deceived. The Canadian government has all. If you're an immigrant into Canada, they have all your information about your siblings. So you cannot just piggyback off your friend and say, oh, that's my sibling. No, they know that you are a sibling to that person already. They know that your father or your mother is a sibling to that person already if you're going to claim that's your uncle. So you cannot just put somebody's name there. So yeah, those are the 6 selection criteria for the 67 points. In the next videos, we'll be talking about other things concerning express entry. But if you are interested in coming to Canada and you would like us to do an in-depth legal analysis and assessment of your situation, you can get in touch with us. Send us a message on Facebook or Instagram, and then we'll tell you how we can go about doing the assessment. Thank you for your time, and God bless.